do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
All of us. All of us. That is it. That is it, nothing more. Everybody with Jamaican at our time now.
Mikhail Asham Philip.
You see the athletes? I always use them as an example, you know? They put in the work. They put in the work, and then when time comes to reap the rewards, you know? And that's the way I have to look at it. When you put in the work. Put in the work. What else is going on, my love?
Well, you know, yesterday, that piece I read before from the other side.
Yeah.
What did you say? You can't be yourself,
I, Michael Asher Phillips, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
I'm watching this guy's meetings and I'm saying, are we going to get to see it?
Let me say this. Anytime it rains in Portmore, and my neighbor messaged me yesterday and said, neighbor, open up.
Andrea Perkins.
Rain finally reached Portmore. So I'm not surprised the other areas had flood prone areas had problems. So once we get little, a problem.
Well, I'm actually watching the hills and, you know, in the afternoon right now, you'll hear the thunder. Who knows what is in there?
I, Andrea Marvelyn Perkins, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
I don't know if the restrictions affect you that kind of way.
James Rudolph Edward Robertson.
The only thing I see is my born time.
You have time.
Yeah. But in this kind of I know I hear about that story on me, you know, like it's a big hurricane. But I have a chance, so you know, I do get most of what I can to seven, you know. Currently we need to put that company, but it's another story.
I, James Rudolph Edward Robertson, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, and that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
When I catch me one time, credit violence.
Julian J. Robinson. Julian J. Robinson.
Yes, here?
Yeah.
I, Julian J. Robinson, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
Kenneth Russell. Kenneth Russell.
conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
Somebody poor, something, and what, and you know. So, yeah, it's a serious job. And I wonder,
Yvonne Rosemary Shaw.
Maybe not for that one. I mean, with technology, there's so many things that happen. But I understand the progress in the brain. If you look at some places in the world, still really more access to water.
I, Yvonne Rosemary Shaw, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibility to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
We're gonna take a break here. The two life quiz social legend Thursday. Daily and Kenneth in the house, you know. It's super.
Delano Orlando
I, Delano Orlando Silverite, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
The JCF on air and in your community, building public trust and restoring confidence in communication. That's JCF Thursdays at 8 p.m. The JCF, a force for good.
Dwayne Charles Edward Smith.
If you're ready for your goal, the industry is ready to have a conversation. Let's talk outfit, not much more. Don't make sure the price
I, Dwayne Charles Edward Smith, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica. I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
Yeah.
It's current, informative, educational, and it deals with the issues.
Orlando Nathaniel Terrell.
Teacher Stand Sunday, September 21. Join as we reminisce on the life of past president, trustee, and acting executive general of the JTA County Board Soon. Hear from the colleagues and friends of what kind of land it was. All this and so much more will be available to you in our next Teacher Stand program. Sunday, September 21.
I, Orlando Nathaniel Terrell, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God. Dwayne Francois St. Michael Bar.
Yeah, we still got the rocking you here on the Two Life Crew. Big up on the Two Life family, you know, already tuned in.
I, Dwayne Francois St. Michael Vaz, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
One of the things I always say about them, they keep us on our toes. Them toes is over, they keep us on our toes. And that's a family, if you stay in a family, now make a go to road go shame. So, you didn't
We
know,
call it
you didn't know
Errol
somebody,
warming sun.
come here. Come here, that and look good. Come here, fix that, and look good. Come here, that is sound about that. That's what family say. And then when you go to the so, we want to big up some to my family who celebrating birthdays today, those who are celebrating anniversaries, please send them to us now. We're just about that time. 876 553 5908. 876 553 5908. Let's go.
On behalf of the people of Southwest that will come home all day, I do swear that I will faithfully and true allegiance to God, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibility to the people of Jamaica.
So we got some
So
folks
help me
here.
God.
We're celebrating their birthday. Mel is coming, our chief engineer. Mel is coming. Today is his birthday. I feel like we should have named one of the tower them after Mel is. Because after you work in the industry for a while, you reach a certain age. Then name something already.
Delroy Hugh Williams.
Mel is in radio for owner.
I don't know why.
So our chief engineer for operations, Melvis Cummings, is celebrating his birthday today. We got Melvis. Tanzara Jackson, production assistant, is also celebrating her birthday. Derek Hunter, one of our general admin.
I, Delroy U. Williams, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica.
Happy birthday to you. Sheldon Shepherd, Nomad Fame, is
Donovan Saint Ledger Williams.
It's been such an honor to watch this young man from high school to stardom. Although people tell him was always a star from high school, but his growth is just phenomenal. And so big up to you, Sheldon, and more blessings to you as we continue along this path and continue to just help others to grow as well. Who else is celebrating a birthday? Marilyn Shorter is celebrating her birthday today. All right, I'm gonna head over to WhatsApp, which is already alight.
I, Donovan St. Ledger Williams, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
Sherwood Estate Church, they're celebrating today, coming from the Family Life Department with enough blessings. This one's birthday greeting going out to former Inspector of Police, Halfway Tree, Traffic
Finally, Franklin Robert Whittle.
Big day today, sir. He's on retirement, but enjoy to the max. Long life to you. Greetings coming from Ola Rowe and Joe Nugent. It was great working with you, and so we just extend nothing but love and blessings on this your birthday. Isn't that nice? Wow. Birthday greetings to Miss Dion Lewis. She's a supervisor at Food to Go restaurant, and that's in Runaway Bay right now in Salem. And she's from Goshen in Brownstown. With her work team for your children. Remember, Sheila, Ronaldo, and granddaughter Reginae. Good afternoon to my please send happy birthday shout out to my down to earth cousin Dion Lewis. Hey, on Dion my defender from Goshen, Brownstown, love girl from your cousin Pamela Utah in Trelawney. Good afternoon to my group. I wish my son Kimar Parchment a happy birthday. Have an awesome day, and it's coming from Mom Jennifer Bauer, aka Red Rose from Aberdeen and St. Elizabeth. Happy birthday to Darian Manhurst and Lisa Edwards. Blessings in abundance from the Church of the Transfiguration family. Also want to say happy birthday to Courtney Smith. She's celebrating today. It's coming from Mom Miss Smith and the rest of the family over there in Maypen. And a happy birthday greeting to a dear sister and friend, Sonia Spencer
Thank you, Clark.
in Portmore, wishing her long
Statement by
life, great
ministers.
health, and prosperity coming from John.
Announcements.
Good day,
We
my
don't
two
go
life
into
group
business.
family. Please send happy birthday
Madam
to Mr.
Speaker,
Dennis May.
I now have the honor to announce that the Electoral Office has advised that the following persons have been elected members of this Honorable House of Representatives. Clarendon Northwestern, Mr. Richard Azan.
Happy birthday greetings to Sister Donna Lawrence.
St. James East Central, Mr. Edmund Bartlett. St. Mary Southeastern, Mr. Christopher Brown. St. Andrew Southwestern, Dr. Angela Brownberg. Portland Eastern, Mr. Isaac Buchanan. Manchester Southern, Mr. Peter Bunting. St. James Southern, Miss Letitia Berger. Westmoreland Eastern, Dr. Dayton Campbell. St. James Southwestern, Dr. Horace Chan. Clarendon Southeastern, Mr. Pernell Charles Jr. St. Andrew Northeastern, Mr. Delroy Chuck. St. James Central, Mr. Leroy Clark. Clarendon Southwestern, Mr. Lowton Cousins. St. Catherine Northwestern, Mr. Damian Crawford. Manchester Central, Miss Rhoda Crawford. St. Andrew West Rural, Mrs. Juliet Cuthbert Flynn. St. Catherine Eastern, Miss Joyce Daly. Trelawney Southern, Mrs. Marissa Dalrymple Filberg. St. Catherine Southeastern, Dr. Alfred Dawes. St. Catherine Southern, Mr. Mark Goldie. St. Andrew East Central, Mr. Dennis Gordon. St. Catherine Central, Miss Olivia Grange. St. Elizabeth Southwestern, Mr. Floyd Green. Trelawney Northern, Miss Toba Hamilton. Westmoreland Western, Mr. Ian Hill. Clarendon Northern, Mr. Wable Hines. St. Andrew West Central, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Hollis. St. Andrew East Rural, Mrs. Juliet Hollis. St. Andrew Western, Mr. George Hilton. St. Andrew Southern, Mr. Fitz Jackson. St. Elizabeth Northeastern, Miss Felica Chess. St. Anne Northwestern, Miss Crystal Lee. St. James West Central, Mrs. Marley Mallow Ford. Manchester Northeastern, Ambassador Audrey Marks. St. Anne Southwestern, Mr. Xavier May. Kingston Western, Mr. Desmond Mackenzie. Hanover Western, Heather, Mrs. Heather Miller Bennett. St. Mary Western, Mr. Robert Montague. Clarendon North Central, Mr. Robert Morgan. St. Elizabeth Northwestern, Mr. Andrew Morris. St. Catherine Northeastern, Miss Terencia Morrison. St. Catherine North Central, Mrs. Natalie Mutadab. St. Mary Central, Mr. Omar Newell. Kingston East and Port Royal, Mr. Philip Palmer. Manchester Northwestern, Mr. Michael Phillips. Hanover Eastern, Miss Andrea Perkins. St. Thomas Western, Mr. James Robertson. St. Andrew Southeastern, Mr. Julian Robinson. St. Anne Southeastern, Dr. Kenneth Russell. St. Anne Northeastern, Mr. Matthew Samuda. St. Andrew North Central, Mr. Delano Sibray. St. Thomas Eastern, Miss Yvonne Shaw. St. Andrew Northwestern, Mr. Dwayne Smith. St. Catherine East Central, Mr. Alando Turlock. St. Catherine West Central, Dr. Christopher Tucker. Portland Western, Mr. Darrell Vaz. Westmoreland Central, Mr. Dwayne Vaz. St. Catherine Southwestern, Mr. Clifford Evan Wilmington. St. Catherine South Central, Dr. Andrew Mitchell. Clarendon Central, Mr. Delroy Williams. Kingston Central, Mr. Donovan Williams. St. Andrew Eastern, Mrs. Favour Williams. And finally, St. Elizabeth Southeastern, Mr. Franklin.
To my amazing wife and awesome mother, the heart of our family, your grace, strength, and love inspires every day. Here's the celebration.
Bills brought from the Senate,
Climate, aka
petition,
Manchester,
papers, reports from committees, notices of motions given orally, questions and answers to questions, motions that may be made at the commencement of public business requiring notice, motions relating to the sitting of the House, motion for leave to introduce bills, presentation of bills without leave of the House first obtained, public business, House leader.
Madam Speaker, as is customary, the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition will make a statement, commencing with the Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you. I now invite to his the Leader of the Opposition, the member from St. Andrews Southern.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to join in the words of congratulations that have already been extended to all of the 63 members of Parliament who have been duly elected and have today taken their seats in this honorable house.
has announced that it has fully repaid all of its obligations.
It is a good thing
Jamaica
that
through a corporate
we have managed to have general
elections
elections in this country with minimal violence. Especially one as hardcore and as close to run as this one.
The Antigua and Barbuda
And
government
it shows that what was once a scourge on our society and body politic is something which we can hopefully say is permanently behind us. We have other concerns about the electoral system, which we have already foreshadowed in public statements that we made, and we intend to continue to do what we can to see improvements in that area.
The U.S. Justice
And you'll be hearing
Department
from
said
us
today
further
that the
on
Bureau
that
of American
at
Securities
future
resolved
times.
a criminal
I want to
investigation
just
into election
state my own part
schemes.
how happy I am that
The department
over
said as part of the
403,000 Jamaicans voted
as the
for
government prosecuted
our members of Parliament on this side, an increase from 97,000 voters over our performance in the previous elections, resulting in us doubling the number of seats that we hold in this Parliament, as can be seen today. It restores a significant measure of balance in the Parliament of the country, which I think is good for Jamaica's democracy, and provides us with a platform to move forward to achieve our goals next time round. I want to congratulate the members of Parliament on the other side, 35 of them who were successful and who have therefore formed the government, and congratulate the Jamaica Labour Party for its third successive term, which I believe is a historic landmark for that party. Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister in his inaugural address at King's House emphasized the importance of the country coming together, of unity, and so on. And I think So, whoever cannot justify that or just the words, one has contract. And if you want to be opposite consensus or that there is some action, some actual tangible effort to achieve consensus. And the events that will take place here today, I don't think all go well in that regard. We have heard from the Prime Minister that he wants to pursue the constitutional reform effort further. And we do also want to see Jamaica move from vestiges of colonialism, which are still very much present in our existing constitutional arrangements, and achieve full decolonization, which is long overdue. For that to happen, there needs to be consensus around certain critical things that we regard as fundamental to the society. And we don't feel that any effort is going to be made to achieve such consensus thus far. And I look forward to seeing whether or not that will in fact take place going forward. Within the Parliament itself, I would ask that the Prime Minister reinstitute the system of chairmanship of the House committees, which was established in 2007 and continued through three successive governments, including the first of his terms in the current three-term cycle, but was discontinued in 2020. I think that it is necessary. It is necessary for there to be more accountability for what the executive is or isn't doing, and the committee system of the Parliament is a vital element in ensuring that continuity. And having the government appoint chairman of the committees to set the agenda and the dates of meetings and so on is not, in our view, consistent with the aspiration of accountability which we hear being stated on both sides. And, former Prime Minister Bruce Golding from that side was the one who instituted the mechanism of having the opposition appoint the chairman and chairpersons of these committees. And it was continued by the Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller when she was Prime Minister, and by Most Honorable Andrew Holness in his first term, and then discontinued. And I urge him to reconsider the discontinuance of that, what I think was the building of an important convention in achieving greater levels of accountability in our Parliament. Madam Speaker, through successive administrations to take our public debt from the perilous heights of 147% of GDP, which was where it was in 2012, to this year, it is projected to have achieved the 60% target, which is embodied in our fiscal rules and is part of our fiscal responsibility framework in our law. Both sides can claim some degree of satisfaction in the achievement of that monumental milestone. Really, the heavy lifting began in 2012-13 with the new IMF agreement that was signed, a very challenging agreement, which led to success in bringing the debt to GDP ratio down to 115% by 2016, and it has continued thereafter to now, where with a revision in the accounting protocol for GDP, the expectation is that we will achieve 60% this year. Having said that, what we have not seen is commensurate improvements in the standard of living and quality of life of our people. And all the sacrifices that have been borne by the people of Jamaica in running the high primary surpluses that have been necessary to achieve the debt reduction that we have managed to achieve must now translate into tangible we on our side have espoused a set of policies and programs that we feel are necessary for Jamaica to move beyond the anemic, stagnant levels of economic growth that have been a feature of modern Jamaica, and in particular over the last 10 years, and take us to higher levels of growth that can generate kind of revenues to support investments in the people, social investments that are necessary in infrastructure and in our human capital that can become a self-reinforcing virtuous circle of growth that can take Jamaica to her destiny as a prosperous nation, as opposed to one which has achieved so many great things in certain areas, but in the areas of economics and how the life of our people unfolds on a daily basis, we are underperforming. We intend to hold this government to account. For all the promises that they made to the people of Jamaica in the course of the last election in seeking a third term of office, and in achieving higher levels of performance than they've been able to achieve thus far. And we intend to also put forward our own proposals as to how we would do that, so that Jamaica could be a place in which the aspirations of our people can be met right here on this rock, and not by way of having to migrate or seek solace elsewhere. Jamaican people are a great, proud, and powerful nation, but we are not yet achieving our destiny in the critical areas that would make the life of our people more bearable, and where there be a sense of hope and a sense of this country that we live on can give to our people what they need to feel comfortable and live a high and good quality of life. I close by thanking the staff of Parliament for the service that they render to us day in, day out when we're here, and even when we're not here, I know the work goes on. And I would also just like to congratulate our athletes who are in Japan performing at such a high level, bringing more gold, more silver, more fame, and more fortune to our lands, and helping to reignite brand Jamaica in the era of athletics. We want to pick them up and thank them for their service. And of course, Shelly Ann Fraser Price has now ended her international athletic career. Special shout out to her for her tremendous career. And on a sad note, we lost one of Jamaica's greatest footballers in the last week or so, Alan Still Cole. And I want to use this opportunity to express condolences to his family and friends. You know, as somebody who's a lover of football, you know, I can really say that he took the art and craft of being a baller to a higher level, and he will be sadly missed. Thank you very much, Alan Speaker. Thank you, members of the House. I hope that we can work together well, authentically, to move this country forward in the coming term.
Thank you, Leader of the Opposition. Next to his feet is our Prime Minister and Minister of Defense, Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And my congratulations on your election to the seat of Speaker of this House. It is with profound humility and renewed resolve that I rise to address this honorable House on this historic day, the swearing in of the newly elected members of Parliament and the swearing in the members on this side will form the government for a third consecutive term. Today is a reaffirmation of the mandate given by the people, a recommitment by all of us in this house to service, and a solemn reminder of the weight of responsibilities that rest upon us all. First, Madam Speaker, I give thanks to the Almighty who continues to guide our steps as individuals, but more so as a people. Without His providence and mercy, neither I nor any member seated here today would have reached this moment. I extend gratitude to the people of West Central St. Andrew who have sent me here, but to the people of Jamaica who have participated in the democratic process, whether or not they voted for me or not. That they have participated is the important thing. It is they who have established the government. Of course, Madam Speaker, I express gratitude to you and the rest of my family, and indeed to my colleagues in the Jamaica Labour Party, tireless campaigners, workers, and supporters who have been with our mission, vigorous and movement. Honorable members, whether you sit on the government benches or on the opposition side, let us never forget that we are here not for ourselves, but for Jamaicans. Each of us sent here by the people to carry their concerns, amplify their aspirations, and to frame into law and policy the hopes and dreams of all our citizens. Madam Speaker, I extend congratulations to all members on both sides, those who have been re-elected, and particularly to those who are newly elected. Allow me to welcome the newly elected members. Just yesterday, I stood before the nation at King's House and pledged to serve with vision, wisdom, and integrity in the third term of our government. Today, as we inaugurate the new parliament, the themes remain, but the setting gives fresh weight. For it is here, in these walls, that vision must be translated into legislation, that wisdom must be sharpened in debate, that integrity must be lived out in the decisions and in the actions. Together, over the last 9 years, we have walked a long road. As the leader of the opposition pointed out, we have halved the national debt, restored fiscal stability, created historic levels of employment, and halved poverty. We have built new infrastructure, increased wages, invested in health, education, and we have halved murders in this country. And we have brought crime down to 30-year lows. Yet, as I've said before, the game is not about resting on our laurels. This new parliament is charged not with maintaining the status quo, but with advancing to a higher plane of national development. Madam Speaker, for too long, Jamaica has struggled with the legacy of insecure land tenure and informal settlements. Generations of Jamaicans have lived, farmed, and built on land without the security of a title, limiting their ability to access credit, pass on wealth, or invest with confidence. Informal settlements
have multiplied often without proper infrastructure or services, creating conditions of disorder and vulnerability.
Me take some yes, but
This is why
that
I
you
would
know
like
see you
to
eat
commit
it.
Yes,
Me
you
put
know,
my
sit
pack
down.
and me and you eat that finish.
No, no, that's a
Me
different
pack and cheese it and me and you lie down there and me eat it. And me take out one can food.
That's all I buy for
Me take
myself.
out
I'm not
one
telling you
can,
to
but me buy cheese it and me eat it.
I don't buy
Right
no
there,
cheese,
sit
I buy cheese crunches.
buy something still like that.
None of this. It's a different
I'm
sort.
gonna take one can food. Yeah, I tell you to buy.
I take care of that.
I'm not
Look here, I'm doing four channels. You shut the phone, I'm taking that stuff.
I'm
Stop taking me something, man.
not care if it.
Stop
I don't care if it. I'm buy something.
now. You don't care. You don't buy for me, you.
You buy for me, you.
No, you don't buy for me, you don't want to know.
Normalization also has a deeper
I'm
meaning.
buy something. I don't care.
Communities without clear
I
ownership
don't care about
are
it.
more prone to criminal exploitation.
Yeah, I'm still in the
While communities with secure tenure are more invested in law stability. Criminal cooperation. Formalization of land titling strengthens the rule of law at the community level, giving residents a stake in order and reducing the likelihood of their community being this way, housing and land titling are not just economic ones, they are violence reduction strategies. To signal the priority of violence reduction, the Ministry of National Security is now the Ministry of National Security and Peace. This reflects our conviction. The task before us is not simply to enforce law and order, but to build the conditions for lasting peace. I'm happy that the leader of the opposition in his presentation pointed out, and I pointed out several times in this house, that Jamaica has had several successes in its development. One that I'm particularly proud of is that we have managed to eliminate political violence from our society. It's a major achievement. And it was done in a cooperative way. I believe that this generation of leaders also has the ability to eliminate social violence from our society.
See the pig in there.
So while homicides have fallen to levels not expected, we must address the underlying conditions